welcome to This Is Life. My name is Akah and I am hosting the Entertainment, Movies and Art episode. And it is my pleasure to introduce Zainab.
Hi.
Debbie.
Hello.
Deyemi.
Yo, what up?
Ufoma.
Hi.
Bolanle. Okay, so I'm going to start with this quote. Quentin Tarantino said, "When people ask if I went to film school, I tell them, no, I went to films."
I love Quentin. Anything he says is right.
It's correct.
Actually,
I went to film.
I
It's
went
Quentin
to
that
film.
said it.
it's actually pretty apt.
Yeah.
It's pretty apt. If I'm gonna use my experience, it's that I watch so many movies to understand what great acting, should be or is, and that has made all the difference, in the world. But I also still went to film school.
Yeah, I was going to ask how many people went to film school or like TV school or...
You asked at what point we went.
That's true.
Exactly.
Because you showed up on
started
TV
somewhere.
a few times and you went like somewhere you were like, I need to get training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You asked at what point. By the time I went to film school, they had already done a whole lot of Google. And when I came, they were like, oh, congratulations, that's the actress selection. I'm like, yeah. So I think I had started acting already, and then I thought, oh, I need to.
You needed to sharpen. So when
Yeah.
did you...
I didn't go. I have no form of training. Training came from actually physically being on set and experiencing TV production and films. So yeah.
Debbie, you're a filmmaker, production juggernaut in this country. And Quentin Tarantino is one of the greats in the world. Never went to film school. Have you?
Yes. Well, if you call TV college, film school, yes. So yes, I did go to TV college for production.
Yeah.
I love to remain behind the scenes. All these cameras, lights, count me out of it. Just give me the crew and let me be behind them. And that's what I love. And that's what I've done for 32 years.
Wow.
Still running, still counting. Because I just love to be on location. I came from a location here. So
What
that's
made
I
you
love
fall
to
in
do.
love with production, with film?
Maybe because I just love watching television. I've always loved series. I grew up in the US. And when you're young, your parents had to work, they keep you in the house. So you're glued
To the TV. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what really made me love television. And then I was privileged when we came to Nigeria to intern with NTA. So
That was a
I picked the
privilege.
interest there. And from there, the rest is history.
As they say.
You?
I was more academic, like focusing on my law degree. And I had a bit of a balance. I loved to watch music videos and, model at the time. And when you get to a certain point as a model, you get sent off for commercials, which is where you're doing the whole waka pass thing. And I did a few of those. And I remember, I'd be on set with my books and my dissertation, and I didn't mind sitting around. Like, people would get antsy about, let's go, let's hurry up and shoot, what's happening? But I just love sitting and watching. And what fascinated me the most was seeing something go from being on paper to TV or the cinema, and just what it takes, the number of people it takes. It's a serious engine. And that's what pretty much hooked me. And I've never looked back.
Bolanle.
Yeah, man.
When did you know that this was what you wanted to do with your life? Be in front of the camera?
So I actually have a love for, I think my biggest thing was when I was 6 or 7, we had an awards ceremony kind of thing where every weekend they would give some sort of award in my classroom saying, the prettiest, the most intelligent. So it came down to, throughout the year they do it. And then it ended up being that the last 2 people from the whole year that were left that hadn't gotten an award was myself and another student. I was so disliked when I was younger. So disliked. Nobody liked me in my school. So then the only two that was left that they could come up for me was Most Curious. So I won Most Curious.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's not bad. I am curious. I do like asking a lot of questions. So when I was about 16, this guy called my house, and he was my friend's brother, and I had a huge crush on him. And he was like, you should be on radio. And because he said that, and I had a crush on him, I was like, I called my dad and I said, Daddy, you need to give me an internship at a radio station. I'm supposed to be on radio. So when I was 16, that's kind of when I figured out that I wanted to do it. But also, I was living in Kenya at the time, and I just found the radio to be so fascinating. I found it to be fascinating that you could be on air, and I could use my voice to convince people to do something that they otherwise wouldn't have done. And I was like, that is power. Like, I want that. But also, I wanted it because I had views that I wanted to share. So it was actually from then. So my first love was radio, which I'd barely done. And then I just ended up doing TV instead. And I love it. I love being a presenter, not an actor.
I'm gonna get into that. And Deyemi, I mean, you went in the corporate industry, corporate world, and you were good at it. And then you just came out and you're just like, you know what, I can't take it anymore. So for you, I want to ask, what was it about film? Why film? When did you know you were in love? Why was it late? Why did you come out late? And what's the first film that made you know this was what you wanted to do?
So I'd seen a lot of Denzel Washington movies. And if you watch my style of acting,
Oh, shit.
My dad is
I think I had seen a lot of movies that I really, I find movies to be very inspiring. They tell you a story, they show you a person or a character, and you fall in love with that character. You want to be like that character. And hopefully it's a good, character, and then you're aspiring to be that kind of person. You want to be a hero, And I fell in love with the idea of it. Again, I'd been reading books my whole life. And then one day, I watched this movie, Gone in 60 Seconds. And there's this actor, Delroy Lindo. He's not a very well-known actor. His name is Delroy Lindo. If you guys Google him, you see. You would even understand what I'm about to say next. See, Delroy Lindo is not the most handsome guy. It's not actually cute at all. But his delivery was so good. And I said, hey, you know what? If this guy can do it, I can do it too. Not the only fine boy they do acting. And I saw it and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then, God's universe works in a way that you project things out and it starts to come, I've been working in sales and marketing for many years. I was at some point the head of marketing for a company called OLX. I had a great career. I was earning a lot of money, but I knew that there was something missing. And so coming from church drama, for many years, random conversation. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, what else do you do? I studied chemical engineering. He studied chemical engineering. Oh, what else do you like to do? I did a little bit of drama. He said, oh, he has some friends who are doing a film. Would I be interested in going to the audition? I said, yeah, why not? I went to the audition. I got 2 roles from one audition. I got another 2 roles because people saw me in those things. Then another 2 roles. And then one point I was in my office sitting down and I started getting offers to come and work. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go try this thing out for a year. I was taking a gap year. It was 1 year to just go scratch this itch and then go back to work and make money. Ladies and gentlemen, this August is the 8th year. and I'm not going back.
That's a good story.
When did you fall in love with film?
Love for me is a very tough thing. So I think I'm inherently lazy. When I say it, a lot of people don't understand. I got into trouble a lot as a little girl because I just wanted to do nothing but watch TV all day. If there was no light, I wanted to sit down and read a novel all day. Don't ask me to boil water. Don't ask me to boil beans. Don't ask me to cook rice. I don't want to wash. I don't want to do anything. I just want to watch TV. Unfortunately, we had a rooster, and my name was on the cooking rooster. It was on the washing plate rooster. It was on the washing cloths. So there wasn't much I could do. I had to look for every spare time. I got into a lot of trouble, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes when my mom talks about me being an actor, she laughs and she feels like in some ways, she called it forth because then she used to call me television star and it wasn't a good thing. It was as good as saying, you silly girl. So she'd say, you have started again, television star. because everything will burn. Once I put food away, it will burn. And
Wow.
I promise you, I didn't make out. There was nothing in me that saw me acting. Nothing, and not in Nigeria. No.
Wow.
I just like to watch it because the lazy me will not want to do the work. I just want to watch the end product, right? But I was in a pageant once, went to get my payment for being the Miss Congeniality in the pageant, and then I ran into Zebejiro, and somehow after giving him a hard time, I took his card. 2 years later, I was done with my third year in university. I was waiting to get in for my final year. There was a strike, so there was a break. And I shamelessly called him, and asked for the role. Luckily for me, he was auditioning at the time, so I got a role. To be honest with you, I thought I was just going to pass time like I was passing time with modeling. I didn't think that this was the bus stop. I didn't think I had arrived. Even when I got back into my final year, I felt like, okay, school is back in session. This acting thing is done with. But, I just kept getting offers. Very much like them said, I'd go for one audition and 2 different producers would say, okay, I have this script, I have this. And I'm still not making money, so.
Why
So
not?
I thought, hey, this one is good, And I just stayed on because I think for me, I'm too much of a thinker. I thought, whatever it is you do in life, whether you have the passion for it or not, the end product is you want to put food on your table.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
So I was already putting food, so.
You mentioned something
I
about
stayed
being
there.
lazy.
Yeah.
But the truth is,
I
people don't know how grueling
Honestly.
this work
Filmmaking,
is.
yes,
It
I
is
know.
grueling.
I know.
And I mean, for film too, what has been your most grueling project?
Ah.
For filmmakers, there are
Every
different
project.
sides. There are different sides to this game.
Who wants to go first?
Everybody's
Everybody's
waiting.
taking a second.
So okay, I don't know. And Debbie is primarily a producer. For me, I think if you're asking me as an actor or as a filmmaker, I think most definitely it will be as a filmmaker that I've had my toughest moments. Like,
Yeah, I know.
don't go there. Because one of the people I put through some of the stress that befell me, I had to pass it on to. I say to people that when you come into an industry like any part of entertainment, you need to build goodwill because goodwill is a currency, and at some point you will need to spend that currency. And those are some of the things that have helped me when I get to those points. I promise you, I've had a circle of people that I could call and it was okay to cry. I've had a circle of people that I could call and it's okay to say, let's do it now, we'll sort out the payment later. I've had a circle of people who would say, Ufoma, we die here. Or die and I die, we'll do it, and those are the things that have pushed me. But I promise you, I've been on projects where I've asked myself, what is the problem?
Who sent me?
My parents have house. I can just go there and they will give me money. Are you understanding? But in all of it, there's a lot of hard work, like you say, but much more than that, I promise you, what has gotten me out is that currency that I have built and that I had the grace to spend at that time.
So, I'm a presenter and my experience is very different, and I've done like 2 acting projects.
Acting gigs.
And I find that what you guys go through is next level. It's a different type of work that I truly believe if you ever see anyone that's an actor, you're passionate about it. And I don't even think this is only in Nigeria. I think globally, on a large scale, it's a very grueling job. Your call time is at 2 a.m. because you need to make sure that the sun is or the moon is at, a right lighting at that time. And my experiences of really hard moments, I would say, have been as an actor because the passion is not there. So I've done overnight shoots as a presenter, but I don't remember those moments. Because I was trying to think, I was like, have I had really bad moments as a presenter? Yeah, we used to shoot, we've done shoots till 5 a.m. We shot for 24 hours. I actually don't remember because I love it so much. I remember as an actor when I was on set for 12 hours and I didn't shoot anything. I can remember what I was wearing. I remember what I remember being like, I'm never doing this again.
It's funny because
So
she always calls. I don't know how you guys do it.
So Akah and I did a project together, and it was an acting project, but it was a commercial. And I remember it being like, when I was like, oh, am I going to do this? I was like, it's a commercial. Anyways, it ended up being like film.
It is a project.
Just sitting down, waiting. And I was just looked at Akah and I was just like, remind me.
Never.
to do this again.
Because it's about passion. And I think that's the thing about our industry. It is about passion. So on the other spectrum, someone can be on set, where I'm presenting and I have to come up with questions off the cuff and they'll be like, this is really stressful. I get a high off of it, So, my grueling moments have been as an actor. I've never had an experience as a grueling moment as a presenter because I love it so much.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem is that we really we glamorize what this thing is a lot of the time.
Of course.
And we don't share the process, right? So, the person sitting at home doesn't know that you've been shooting for 48 hours or that you haven't eaten or that you've had technical issues here.
That 2-minute clip.
Yeah,
That
but they see
2-minute
an
clip.
Instagram story.
They'll
They see an
a
Instagram story of you on set
And,
with other actors.
it's all good and well, but that's part of the problem. And whenever I see like young people say, hey, I want to be an actor, or how do I do it, whatever, I'm like, there's no script for how you become an actor. For me, becoming an actor was mostly all about networking. So I didn't realize that I had this skill. People kept giving me jobs. I was like, oh, okay, let's run with it. Maybe at some point they'll realize that I'm a bit of a fraudster. And I don't but it was networking. It was talking to different directors, different producers, and sending people stuff. But acting is, outside of running a business in Nigeria, acting is one of the most stressful and somewhat frustrating thing. So when we give you guys our bill and we say this is what we want to be paid, it's because we know.
The stress.
We know the stress.
The work. You're putting in.
We know the work that we're putting in. And, we don't get on set and just start reading lines. Some of us are preparing 6 months before. Or some of us are losing weight for a job, like Deyemi has a gig that he needs to lose weight for. So there's so much that comes into it. And if you were in Hollywood now, in an environment where there's certain things sort of set up to help you get by. But you're here in Nigeria where, yes, things have changed and I appreciate the changes that have taken place, but it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
It is very frustrating, but at the same time, getting the finances for any producer is the biggest headache.
That's true.
So a producer, like I usually tell my team or my actors, my talents, that no producer wants a troublemaker on set. So once you have a team of actors that are ready to put in their all, you want to recycle them over and over.
Right.
For instance, for some shows I've done, some projects I've done, I've been privileged to work with Ufoma and Deyemi for years. And the movie we did with Deyemi, we had to travel to the UK to shoot. So we did part in Nigeria and part in the UK. And to get the finances to do that, and my lead characters were saying to me, I had 2 lead characters, I would not mention their names here, and we had to fly them business class because I wanted to get into the UK and start shooting because I had numbers of days with the crew and the team and the locations, everything in the UK. So I needed them to be well relaxed. And Deyemi almost, he was upset, but because he understood, there are categories. You have your lead characters, you have your support. Yes. So now, if it was another person, they may not have understood because by the time we did that movie, Deyemi was already a name.
Right.
I invited him to come on the movie, so I should have given him business class as well, but I could not afford it. But so I had to tell him that, look, Deyemi, these 2 guys are going to work round the clock when we get to the UK, so I need them well relaxed. I need them to spread their legs in the plane. You guys will have to be on economy and all that. So it is hard work. And it was stressful because we landed in UK and we went straight to the location. And we had to start shooting for straight 10 days at a stretch. Then come back to Nigeria and we continued the same process. And where am I going? It's financing. It's budget. I don't have a bank. But I wanted to do this brilliant movie that the director and the scriptwriter had been writing and rewriting for 8 years till they got that script perfect. Then where do we get the money to do it? We wanted the best actors, we wanted the best locations. So we do, as producers, as executive producer, it will be my joy to have talents and give them what they do in Hollywood. Give them a pot cabin. Give them everything that they need so that I know it's very stressful it is. Because sometimes even to give them transport fare, I mean, to just take the load off them, it's a big of a headache. So financing and sponsoring projects in Nigeria is the biggest headache for any movie.
How do we, just because yes, it is a huge problem, but what solutions can we put in place? Is it more collaborations, co-productions with other producers? Is it pulling?
That's where that's the best thing I've heard in a long time. So a lot of colleagues and I have said to ourselves, I have cameras, you have lights, you have locations, you have the team, you have this. Can we do a collaboration? And 80% of the time, you just get, I don't know. You know how we are in Nigeria.
Yes.
I don't understand it. Yes. And it can work.
It can.
Once we collaborate with each other, what we have, what we expect. Okay, so for instance, they are ready to put in everything, but they are not ready also to market. And as a producer, you must be able to market your own thing. You're the only person that can talk about your own project yourself.
Yeah.
When you go into a presentation, I expect that the lead characters, or for instance, when we took Beyond Blood to the movies, all the lead characters were there, although it was part of the contract. And I think these days they do have it part of the contract that you must post it online, you must do all the publicity and all that, and it's built into the contract for. But when we did that, we didn't do all that. But they were willing to go the extra mile because I think the relationship, and just like Ufoma had said, partnering relationship with your team, with the actors, with the producers, with the whole team, it's the key thing. It's the only way forward we can move.
This is Live Podcast is sponsored by Enterprise Live Nigeria. And you can follow them on social media at Enterprise Live Nigeria.
Is here with Enterprise Life Assurance. Our decades of experience in the West African markets will help you achieve your dreams with peace of mind. Visit www.myenterprisegroup.io/NG or call 0700 Enterprise to know more. Enterprise Life, your advantage.
Looking at it from 2 points, as a filmmaker and then as an actor, I can totally understand, where Zainab is coming from, understanding what it is that the actor brings to the table, understanding the push, the drive that the actor's brand will bring to the project and how they want to be compensated for what they bring to the table. However, on the other side, we do know that the producer is that person taking a risk that has no guarantees, right? So if the actor comes and says, you're going to pay me 10 naira, this is what I'm paying you. There's no guarantee that I'm going to make that back, and it wouldn't be on the actor, having put everything that you say you bring to the table. You might have actually brought all of that to the table, but there still is no guarantee that I'll bring you back. Don't forget that I say to people that time and chance happens to filmmakers.
Honestly.
Yes, time and chance happens. There's this lovely movie that was released, but I thought it was released at the wrong time. Royal Hibiscus Hotel, I think. I saw it, but it was just wrong timing because the whole world was going mad with Black Panther at the time.
Right.
So to have released that kind of movie, Black Panther was like, choke yourself out of, the market. So I think there's just, the truth is this, we need to get to the point where society understands what it is that we're doing. Right now, you see, for our society, where we're like the jesters that come into the king's court to make the king laugh. However, there's almost no compensation for that jester, where we treat it almost like the king has a say. So if the king says he wants a jester, he wants the jester, right? So the jester comes forth. But you forget that jester has to continue to put up this act. He has to continue to have his costume sewn.
Yeah.
He has to continue to make sure that his makeup is intact so that the
He
king
has
will
to
see
eat.
something.
Yeah.
Let's even leave him. Let's say he's not, it doesn't matter. Are you with me? The king matters, right? But the king has to see something different. Today he's seeing a yellow and green costume. Tomorrow you want him to see a blue. There's an upkeep, right? There's an upkeep, and that is what filmmaking is. It's a cycle. Wherever you break that cycle from, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
If you break it up from not compensating the actor is not going to give you his best.
Yeah.
That's sure. If you break it up from not, funding the producer is not going to be able to produce the good project you want. If you bring it from the point of distribution and there's a break in distribution and you're not able to make back the money
People ain't
you put
gonna
in,
see it.
you're not going to see another movie,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So it's a complete cycle. Filmmaking is one circle that you can't afford to break from anywhere.
Yeah.
I go to the cinema to do, meet and greet, and I hear people say, it's Nollywood film. I say, guy, this thing you are saying, your children will say it unless you start watching. Because the truth is, unless you put in your funds now, I can't make something better than what you're complaining about.
Right.
Sorry, my darling.
Right.
It's the 5 naira that you didn't watch yesterday, still the 5 naira I have. It ain't gonna be better. Do you understand? So put in your own 1 naira, maybe 6 naira.
Yeah.
Then I will make something better. Your child comes putting is now 7 naira. Do you understand? It's a circle. We keep asking for, our actor, there's no dexterity. The actor cannot, hello. See, Halle Berry cannot do what I do.
Yeah.
Do you understand
Yeah.
me? Because
Not
I don't work
in
on
the
her
kind
budget.
of conditions and budget.
Exactly.
Working.
So it's a cycle. Like I can totally understand where
But
people are coming
sometimes,
from.
let me just add a little bit to this. We're all human beings. And thank God, I surround myself and I also can say that I'm a well-behaved human being.
Is that right?
Yes, you are. Don't worry, I come with you. You're well behaved.
Thank you for being truthful. All these ones here that want to just come and spoil my market. Cover themselves, my friend. But the truth is sometimes it's not about the money. It's about value.
Exactly.
Of course.
When you feel valued by a producer, by a team, then you feel comfortable.
That's where the goodwill comes.
When you feel, sometimes you do say, this is the money we're bringing. But when I see the food that they're serving me to eat, I'm like, is it this bad? Who do you see me as?
That you give me the spread.
Spread.
You know,
Are you joking? It's not spread. It's a spread.
It's just how you are respected or valued. They
Right.
value your art. I remember the first day you gave me
Value
a call.
your time.
Your time
Come
too.
on.
I remember the first day you gave me a call, and I know why I did that role because of what you said you had done to other actors or with other actors in the project. I said I'll do this. So sometimes it's not about the money, Deyemi, leaving the corporate industry and coming into the movie life
In Nollywoodian.
with the kind of pay that we're giving. How did your wife? Because I tell you remember. What did she say? I'm not even going to go into. What did your father or mother say? What did your wife tell you in the bedroom?
Okay. My wife and I, look, my case was pretty different. I have been dating my wife, I think, since 2010. And while we were dating, I've been doing some acting. I've done acting in church. I've done a few short films, web series. We did one together, yeah. And I guess she must have seen how passionate I was about it. I remember doing a short film that we did 24 hours. We shot overnight to the next day, 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. the next day. And I was so pumped coming out of it. I wasn't tired, I wasn't anything. And while we were dating, I mentioned, this acting thing, I think I can see God's hand moving in this thing, that it's just happening for me, and things that, I was in my office, I'm on Bella Niger, but I'm sitting in my office. I'm like, okay, we're getting there, And I just said there's something there, maybe one day, That's how we got married January 2013. That one day was in July. I was like, wait a minute, and it was obvious, like I was getting really great projects. And I just knew this wasn't normal. This wasn't, like I'd spoken to actors, on the small projects that I was on. And I realized this is not normal. This is not usual. Let me take that time off, as I said earlier, take some time off and go. And then I looked at my salary, and then I looked at Nollywood. I looked at my salary, and I was like, I beg, I'm not doing it again. And my wife came. And she said, do this thing.
Oh, wow.
This is your passion. It's what you love to do. do this thing. I guess she didn't really know what she was talking about because if it was, she can look back now. You can go back.
Don't try it.
Yeah. But and then the first year, in fact, from my first project, I think I had a 1 or 2 month break, and I got onto my next project, and I've been working ever since, guys. It's been a phenomenal experience on the one hand, but the chaos is like Auntie Debs. Working
He had to put a
Requires
respect on it again.
Working with
That's
you,
what he calls me.
working with you was a breeze. I don't want to tell you how many films I've done, but I can tell you that 99.999 percent of the films, they are not like that. It's at all, you know. It can be really, really stressful. You know, they don't respect it. And to
Respect
what
the
you,
art.
yeah, and to what you said earlier, you had a conversation with me.
Yes, I did.
You had a conversation with me, and I looked and I realized, okay, there's respect here. You know,
There was
there's respect.
value.
There's value.
They value
You
what
know,
you're doing.
and I
It
understood.
shows in everything when it plays out.
And you see what Zainab said earlier about networking. What has happened between me and you over the past few years, the things that you have brought my way since then, has more than that. Come on now. Because of one ticket. No. Please. But, ladies and gentlemen, now we fly business class.
You know, circling back on that,
sir.
what has been one of the most ridiculous writers you've ever heard from, like,
An actor.
Or a
yeah,
quite-
actor?
Oh,
Or,
okay.
yeah.
That's interesting.
You should break down what a writer is.
Oh, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the audience.
Oh, okay, so
Oh,
a writer,
okay.
a writer is basically, you know, what a star, an actor, a music
Talent,
artist would say,
anyone
I need for
needs.
me to come on this project or be in the green room. I want
Yes.
only yellow Skittles. I want to have yam
You
for lunch
Friday.
every day.
Yeah.
Or Friday, yeah. And other people say, I want dollars just under my pillow. So what would be the most ridiculous
I'm
writer?
the wrong person to ask, actually, because like Deyemi said, before I set up a production team or my actors I always talk with them.
Yeah.
I ask them what their likes are, their dislikes. We have like a team building. So we discuss. So they're family. We're working as a team here. I did that with Ufoma on my mom and I and the rest of the team, both cast and crew. Same thing with Deyemi and the rest of the team. So I already know what they want or they don't want. So and everybody, we're all out there together saying it. So I've been privileged to have good people work with me. Maybe, like I said, I've been privileged. And maybe like Deyemi said, I don't see myself, but maybe the way I do my things or the way my productions, I go about my productions with my talent is totally different from other producers. So I don't just send you a script. Before you see my script, we have dialogue. It's after we've dialogued the first discussion, then we come and people like them, I don't call them for auditions. I respect them more than that. I can say, Deyemi, I think you can. This is the role I know you can do.
Yeah.
Let's have this discussion. The other, I'm working on something right now, and I was looking for Deyemi for like 2 months. And then I got upset and I called his wife and I said, Damilola, where is your husband? Which part of the country is he? And 30 minutes later, Deyemi calls me. And I said, Deyemi, I know you've done so much now. Please update your CV for me. I need to share it with a client. I said, Auntie Debs, I trust you. I'm not going to ask what it is. Just let me know when you're ready. You know, so that's the honor I have with working with my own talents. They've become like I said, we dialogue first. We discuss before I throw them the script. When they see the script, then they bring the bill. And I doubt if I've ever said no to anything they've asked for. Have you ever said, I've never said no. Whatever
amazing.
they ask for, I don't negotiate. I always say, I cannot pay for your talent. It's not salt and pepper. I don't negotiate.
Actually, it's that you've always, for me at least, you've always made an offer
that I couldn't
that was very
negotiate.
fair.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, you know,
Yeah,
this works.
I remember my first negotiation when they gave me the bill for one episode. I said, "What?
You said my dear.
I said, let's shoot."
That one
So
was
that's
like,
it. I know what the market is saying. Like I said, I've been producing for quite a while, so I always find out what the other people are paying, what is happening, what the industry is paying, and then I up it
Maybe
Like
I'll ask small if
100%.
you're the producer.
That's why it has always given me comfort working with people. I've never had.
That's really good.
Across the table, the panel, filmmaker, actor, filmmaker to
Fine
an
boy.
actor, scriptwriter, you've produced
Documentary
too.
filmmaker.
You've produced documentaries and all of that. You've also acted. But we all know that we can also be emotionally attached to a project.
Yeah.
And we all have that part where we're like, this feel. But when it goes through the whole value chain and process, it might not come out the way it should
You
be.
dreamt.
This is Life Podcast is sponsored by Enterprise Life Nigeria. You can follow them on social media at Enterprise Life Nigeria.